Cooler Master had by far one of the biggest presences on the Computex 2018 show floor. Their booth felt massive due to all the interesting new products they had on show. They had a phenomenal party on a wall kind of thing going on with crazy lighting, those precious nanoleafs, and they even boasted one of the coolest displays we've ever seen at any of these events. So first, let's see what Cooler Master has been working on, and because this is Cooler Master we're talking about, we have to start with the cases, and also because there were so many new products to cover. We're only going to be taking a brief look at some of the most interesting ones until we eventually get our hands on them for testing. Our Computex coverage is brought to you by Wootware, Palette, and Fantex. Check them out at the links in the video description. Also, big thanks to MSI for sending us here to Computex 2018. We're excited to show off what their true gaming brand has to offer on display this year. Kicking things off in the high end is Cooler Master's new C700M. The case is expected to come in at around $400 when it launches around September. It's a pretty high price, so what can you expect for that many hard-earned dollars? Well, first off, you're getting a butt ton of relatively tasteful, fully addressable RGB lighting on an impressively large and durable chassis. You're also getting swivel doors for the tempered glass side panel, a modular front panel with your choice of either mesh or the standard metal, a swivel GPU mount for mounting your GPU in a way we've never really seen before, a PSU shroud, and the ability to mount your motherboard in either the traditional fashion or with the I/O configuration at the bottom, amongst even more things that we don't have time to get into. Moving on, the SL600M is a late concept case that really stands out from the rest of the chassis Cooler Master had on show. It did so not only because it's one of the very few white cases that were on display, but also because it doesn't seem to rely on air intake from the front of the case. Instead, the SL600M sucks air in at the bottom of the case, pushes it all past all of the components that need it, then exhausts it out of the top, like a reverse fart. Because of this configuration, a GPU mounted vertically just makes a lot more sense, since it wouldn't disrupt the airflow as much, so the SL600M ships with the mounting points for all of that. The case looks phenomenal, and if you're interested in picking one up, you're looking at spending around $220 with a release plan for sometime in October. Then we have the Mastercase H500M, and it's the result of everything Cooler Master learned from the previous Mastercase 500 series chassis, and is the top of the line entry in the H series. It features things like 2 front panel options, meaning either mesh or glass, comes with the PSU shroud cable covers, and features decent radiator support. It also comes with those 2 almost iconic 200mm fans and all of the tempered glass your little heart can handle. So here are a few other cases at the Cooler Master booth that deserve some quick love. The Masterbox series, including the MB511, MB520, MB530, and the MB500 Tough Gaming Edition, made in collaboration with ASUS's Tough brand. Then Cooler Master had a surprising amount of power supplies on display this year, and according to them, they're aiming to make the pricing of said PSUs highly aggressive. But even more interesting than pricing changes, we spotted a power supply called the XG750. This PSU not only features an ARGB fan that's addressable RGB for you not in the lingo, it also has a built-in display on the side of the unit, perfect for displaying information like wattage currently being drawn. There's no confirmed pricing for the unit, but it'll likely cost a pretty penny or two if it launches sometime in Q4. And then strangely enough, the power supply wasn't the most out there product we saw from Cooler Master this year. That title belongs to the Thermo Electric AIO cooler the company demonstrated. This CPU cooler can actually reduce CPU temperatures by a fair bit, even lower than ambient. That's the surrounding air temperature, folks. It's not exactly a finished product just yet, but it's a freaking cool concept nevertheless, and it means that you can actually keep your 8086 cool, 86K cool, because they decided not to solder it. They still are using TIM, and so that 5 gigahertz is going to cost you a lot. So if you want to have it at all cool whatsoever, thanks Intel. But also thanks Cooler Master for giving us an option for actually fixing that. Then the Hyper 212 from Cooler Master is probably one of the most famous aftermarket air coolers around, and it looks like CM is planning on revamping it a little. The cooler sports an additional fan over its predecessor, is designed to better coexist with high-profile RAM modules, and Cooler Master hopes to bundle it with a fully RGB fan, as well as an RGB logo on the top of the cooler. Better yet, the company also hopes to do all of that in a way that will keep pricing the same as the older 212s. Good guy Cooler Master. And then do you remember the fully analog capable Wooting 1 keyboard? You know, the one with like laser switch functionality? Of course you don't. Our review script for it was done like a year ago and never made it into video, but we did cover it at Computex my first year, which was 2 years ago. But whatever. Just like the Wooting 1 though, the MK850 keyboard from Cooler Master offers analog functionality for many of its keys, meaning you won't need a gamepad if you want to walk in a game at just the right pace or steer around a corner like Drift Max with highly accurate precision and you don't want to get a drift wheel, then this keyboard can help you out there. And then another keyboard or keyboard series that caught a lot of attention was the CK640, TKL CK630, and the CK620. They caught a lot of eyes because they're very low profile keyboards, likely perfect for traveling, and they just look friggin' phenomenal. They also use Cherry's new low profile RGB keys, which feels surprisingly great to work with considering what they are, and then they have a single USB Type-C connector, which is just friggin' dope that Cooler Master's even bringing that out. Absolutely love it. I'd like that. If I could get a keyboard from Cooler Master's booth, it is their smallest, low profile one. I want it. I want it, Cooler Master. Please send it over. So rounding up our look at Cooler Master's booth are two new headsets. Both feature leather-like ear cups, which sit pretty comfortably on even Dumbo ears like mine. Thanks for writing that into the script, Tank. And both feature an omnidirectional boom microphone. The MH752 is equipped to connect to PC via USB and has virtual 7.1 surround sound capabilities. And with all of the bases Cooler Master had covered, it's easy to forget that they also make some pretty dang decent mice, including the upcoming MM830, which has a D-pad that blends in perfectly with the rest of the mouse, a massively overkill 24,000 DPI sensor, and even a little display. The other mice were cool too, but this one was by far the favorite. So that's gonna wrap it up on our rapid fire roundup of what's going on at the Cooler Master booth this year. They had a lot on display, they had a lot going on. They had a liquid nitrogen overclocking thing going on. They had a DJ up front with all the light shows. It was nuts. Cooler Master, you killed it this year, like in top 2 for like best booths at Computex this year. So good job. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments or in the community Discord. Sound off down there. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you enjoyed this video, we want to give a big thanks to our sponsors for sending us here to Computex 2018. That would be the likes of Wootware, the best computer retailer in South Africa, e-tailer. I love them so much. My heart is so fond that I'm here with them. Then we also got Palette, who make dope graphics cards. We got Fantex, who makes dope cases and everything else. And then we got MSI, who makes motherboards, cases, the new cases, monitors, everything. Like they're releasing a whole host of new products, laptops. It's crazy. Big thanks to them for sending us here to Computex 2018. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all of our tech-related and Computex-related content. My name is Brett with the UFD Tech channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. I love you.